Hello, I'm going to shore some things up in this video. Uh, the fundamental string is just a closed loop string, and it spins either right or left to generate charge. Now, this fundamental string, that charge is called the weak force. That's our model. These are assumptions. I have no math to prove this. And these are actually, my model makes much less assumptions than the actual string theory model, where the particles express their identity by waveforms on the string instead of just simple particle spin left or right. Particle spin left to right, you don't think you'd get much out of, but it builds the entire universe. And you say, well, how can they bond? Okay, they emit a field, and this field is not very far away from them, and they bond like magnets. The strings into larger strings called electrons and positrons that spin, like we've seen in my prior videos. I'll show you the picture of it here. The smaller loops inside the bigger loop is the bosons. They're the fundamental strings of string theory. I call them bosons because they carry force on a light wheel. And the larger one is the electron. The electron spins right or left to generate polarity, negative or positive charge. Well, anyway, as they spin, it is well known in physics that the higher the frequency, the shorter the range of the electromagnetic field and the more powerful the field. So the electron has a long, I don't believe infinite. Don Lincoln does, but I don't believe infinite range, but close. And that's why they're able to bond, because their fields are short range. On the range of, they extend out from the particle 10 to the negative 17th, 10 to the negative 17th meters. It's detectable, the weak force is detectable by humanity at that distance. And the weak force is just like electricity, except that it just doesn't go very far. That's a good explanation for someone who doesn't really understand a lot of the technical jargon, and I'm not going to hit you with a bunch of technical jargon. I want this in plain English, so CERN can't say that I'm putting out hokum. I want the public to see this in plain English, and you to use your mind and to make up your mind and to say this guy's theories are correct, which I believe they are. I believe all my theories are correct and based on sound physics and sound science, and I don't believe there's any crackpots involved, crackpottery. This is a no crackpot zone. Well, anyway, that's how they're able to bond the fundamental strings. These are assumptions. My assumptions are, in my string theory, is that the strings are round. They spin left or right to generate charge. They don't express themselves by energy on the circumference of the string, but just by remaining rigid and spinning left or spinning right, like a donut on its side, spun like a top. A physical spin, not the other spin of quantum physics. And the reason they're able to bond is because they can get so close together, and nature is going to bond them into circles. They're not going to bond into squares. You know that. Bonding. Bonding in the squares. Oh, shit. Anyway. That is funny. Bonding into triangles and squares. And no, nature's going to bond them into circles. That's just the only shape, the geometry it's going to take for a spinning object like that. That's what I wanted to cover on this video, how the strings bond. Also, I think, you need to know that those same strings in light waves bond together to create the gluons and the quarks. The quarks we'll take as a convention. See how I drew this like this? Well, from now on, we'll just draw the electron as a straight line of rings, of a ring like this, and omit all the circles and just know that they're there. This is what an up quark looks like. The bottom is a gluon, a 4-stringed gluon, and it should be drawn with all those circles, but I just drew it with lines to represent those circles instead. So that's what you're looking at when you look at my diagram of the gluon and my best artistry, which I'm not a great artist. Those should be really straight lines. That should be a perfect round circle. Those should be perfect round circles that are perfectly spaced in between. And I just can't draw it perfectly like that. I'm not a draftsman. I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm drawing them the best I can freehand. Well, how they bond has been covered in this video. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.